Welcome to the Geeks Attic. This is a book review of The X-Files Ground Zero. The X-Files Ground Zero, Book 3 in the expanded material for the X-Files television series. This novel was written by Kevin J. Anderson and published in June 1996. Now, before I get into a brief summary, I would like you to comment down below. Let me know if you are a huge fan of the X-Files, like I am. Similar and unusual deaths are popping up across the nation. When Mulder and Scully are put on the case, pieces to the mysterious puzzle begin to fall into place. The victims are all tied to a secret weapons defense program. A new type of nuclear weapon is being developed with materials from an unknown origin. Mulder and Scully plan to get to the bottom of this. Of course, Scully using logic, and Mulder, well, he's going to go with his gut no matter what. Now, as we get into my overall thoughts, go ahead and hit a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Finally, an X-Files book that was enjoyable to read from the beginning all the way to the end. Kevin J. Anderson's writing style is smooth, it's easy to follow, it's easy to grasp the points being made. Unlike the previous X-Files novels, this one was easy to follow all the way through. I did not care for the writing style of the first two books, which were written by Chris Carter. No, he's the creator of the show. Charles Grant. Charles Grant wrote the first two books. They had so much things going on in the book, too many names, locations, and even foul language, which didn't make much sense because it just didn't fit in with the show. Kevin J. Anderson brings back to the feel of the show, and I loved it. The chemistry between the characters was great. Kevin J. Anderson really understood who these characters were and did a fine job putting them down on paper. It felt professional, yet also friendly. There's also some real character development. We get to dive into the past of Scully. She grew up a Navy brat, going into college and dabbling in activist groups in an attempt to change the world. And of course, that was before she matured and decided that she wanted a career in the FBI. Unlike the first two books in this series, which lacks any sort of character depth, this simple addition really brings life to the character. While the plot is interesting and keeps building all the way up to the climax of the book, the final event that happens comes off just a little bit silly. But in the end, Mulder and Scully have to write up a report and give it to their superior, and I've got to say, Scully's report, her perspective, definitely feels more grounded. This story, guys, was fun. The chemistry between the characters really drives the story along, and the interesting plot kept me excited to see how the story would wrap up. So do I recommend that you read The X-Files Ground Zero? Yes. Out of the 3 books so far, this is the one that I would say is definitely worth your time. So for the rating, I am going to give Ground Zero an A. And that's going to do it for this book review. Remember to check me out at thegeeksaddict.com and across all social media at The Geeks Attic. Have a good one.